Okay, back to Like a Slow Burning Fire, and I'll be reading chapter 5. It's called The Hut. The next morning, I wake up at 6 and get ready for work. Before I walk out the door, I put my Sears ball cap on my dented head and look in the bathroom mirror. I pull the brim low, then lower some more and walk out the door. I get to work, and the only one there is my manager, Dave. He's at his desk doing paperwork. Hey, he says, head still down. He sips his coffee and looks up. Jesus, what happened to you? Yeah, one of the boards the other night. Hockey, no helmet. Looks like you got demoed by a truck, he says. No helmet. Fuck. Thought you guys played Wednesdays. Wasn't the guys from here, different guys. Rough. He takes a sip of coffee. A couple of skids came in, batteries and shit, he says. You do that. I got the desk. Yeah, thanks. Dave's on the service desk, which means he's got the customers, and I'll be in the back unloading skids. Perfect. I work up a sweat lugging batteries while listening to indie tunes on CKCU. Acid leaks from one of the batteries and puts a hole in my blue work pants. It's working its way into my thigh and it stings, so I scratch it and scratch it. I'll go to the washroom and scrub it with industrial soap and a damp brown paper towel. I'm scrubbing my hands and thigh, sweating from lugging batteries and breathing hard. It feels good. My shift's over at noon, so I do a quick change, and then it's off to Carleton for existential literature, though I'm not even sure what it is. Something about people being so randomly shitty that you have no faith in anyone, including God. On the drive to Carleton, I listen to Warren Zevon sing about the past, how he's got to let bygones be forgotten. I park in the St. Pat's lot, walk to class, and grab my usual spot by the back window. I slump down in my seat, ball cap low, pen in hand. Charlie, this girl who sits next to me, comes in right when the prof's getting started. She gives me a quick smile and sits down. The prof goes on about Jean-Paul Sartre, and I write furiously, getting it all down. The class ends and we all pack up. Charlie stands up, scrunches her eyes, tilts her head, and looks at me. Hockey, I say, into the boards. Whoa, she says. My brother did that once and almost died. Seriously. Yeah, it's no fun, I say. I drive home, and when I walk in the door, Dunk's lying on the couch watching Family Ties. Hey, he says, how you doing? You okay? Yeah, I say, fine. Good, he says. Oh, Julie called. She said to call when you get in. Thanks. I heat up leftover spaghetti and take it to my room. I sit at my desk and eat while I read the sports. Later that night, I'm supposed to play outdoor hockey with a group of Sears guys. We've been playing every Wednesday all winter, and tonight's the last one because the rink's barely hanging on. I was going to skip it, but I want to feel the cold air and the ice, so I decide to play. I pick up the cordless to call Julie. I start to dial her number, but when I get to the last digit, I put the phone down. I go to the closet, grab my skates, stick, elbow pads, and helmet, and head out the door. It's a nice late winter drive to the rink. I roll the window down. The cold air feels good as it whips at my forehead. I get to the park and walk into the hut where we put our skates on. It's almost full. A boombox is playing this rap version of Walk This Way, and the room smells like sweaty hockey gloves. Mark, a sales guy from the garage, is lacing up his skates. He looks at me. Hey, heard you went into the boards. Looks like they got you good. Fuck. Grab a pop. He tilts his head towards a cooler. Yeah, I nod. I reach into the cooler, grab a Canadian, and twist the cap off. I down half the bottle in one shot. Hey, Bob the goalie yells at me. $2 in the box, dipshit. Thought it was $1, I say. $2 now. Went up, even in fucking Hull. I grab a 2 out of my pocket and put it in the shoebox. I sit down next to Mark, kick off my Kodiaks, and start lacing up my skates. There's a hum of random talk, and it seems louder than usual. And then Bob speaks up for everyone to hear. So when he comes in, nobody fucking say nothing, like, fucking just, you didn't hear it from me. Just fucking act normal, like it's none of our guys' business, even if it's totally fucked. I look at Mark. What's? He's talking about John. Fucking no shit. John's doing like a sex change. Like he wants to be a girl and he's taking hormone things and he's going to be like a girl and his name's going to be fucking Debbie. John? From receiving? Yeah. He says he's a girl trapped in the body of like a guy. Wow. I mean, how'd you find it? He told Dave today after you left. Dave was like, holy shit. Dave says to John, so you're gay? And John's like, no, I still like girls, but I'm like a girl trapped in a man's body. And Dave says, so you're a girl and you like girls. That means you're a fucking lesbian trapped in a man's body. Whoa, I say. I mean, he's kind of right, I guess. What I don't get, Mark says, is why Debbie? Like Joanne, maybe? You know, John, Joanne, but fucking Debbie? Makes no sense. But I don't know. Maybe right then, John walks in. He stands in the doorway, a skate in each hand, helmet on. The hum in the room goes down a notch, and then Bob looks at John and he yells out, want a beer? $2 in the box, Johnny, and don't fucking stiff me like these pricks. John takes his wallet out of his back pocket, opens it, takes out a $2 bill, puts it in the box, and grabs a Canadian out of the cooler. He sits down in the space beside me, twists the cap off, and surveys the room. The hum in the room hasn't recovered. John stands up. Okay, guys, he says, listen. I know you heard, and I know you think it's weird, but it's something I got to do. I want to keep working and playing hockey like always, nothing different. What I'm going through, it's a long process. I'm just starting it. And I was hoping things with us could stay the same. Like, I don't want to lose all this. I hope you guys would be Johnny, Mark says. No big deal, whatever. Do what you got to do. We're not going anywhere. As long as you put your $2 in the box, nobody gives a shit. John nods. Thanks, Mark, he says. Thanks. He sits down and the hum in the room returns. I finish lacing up my skates and put on my elbow pads and helmet. John looks over at me. Heard you got banged up, he says. Yeah, no big deal. It's getting better. Good, he says with a nod. How's school? What do you have left? Just this year? Yeah, then teacher's college, I hope, but haven't heard yet. Ottawa U? Yeah, I hope so, but I'll go anywhere, wherever. You'll find a way to make it work if you want it bad enough. You know what I mean? Yeah, hope so, I say. What about you? Things good? Well, you know, not boring, he says with a smile. Yeah, for sure, I say as I nod my head. Hey, you want to team up on D if we're in the same team? Yeah, good, John says. I pick up my beer, finish it off, and put the empty in the case. There you go, Bobby, I say, in the box, nice and neat. Stop your fucking moaning. Good man, Bob says. What the fuck happened to you anyways? You look like a bag of shit. Boards. The other night. Went in hard. Bob gets up off the bench. Fuck, he says. Good thing you're fucking ugly. I walk out of the hut and dig my right skate into the ice, then my left. It's soft, but it feels good. There's a wet chill in the air, and the floodlights cast perfect black shadows on the glossy surface. Someone yells, sticks, and we toss our sticks in a pile at center ice. They're split up, and we have our teams. John and I end up as defense partners, which is good for me because he's a smooth skater. As I play, my eyes water and my nose runs and my cheeks feel hard and cold and stiff. It feels good, alive. I like it. That night, I don't score any goals, and a couple of guys go around me and score, and my team loses big, but I don't care, and neither does anyone else. That's the end of chapter 5.